And
It's over!
he's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, you're watching Sports This Week. I'm Rupha Ramani and I'll get you the top stories from the sporting world in the week that was. First up, of course, Serena Williams broke the internet, welcoming Maria Sharapova into the Hall of Fame. But that was overshadowed by strong reactions coming after she acknowledged and openly promoted a weight loss drug that her husband has invested in. Did she cross the line? US Open has seen some stirring contests and moments, but one such was between American player Townsend and Latvian Ostapenko, who had an ugly war of words right after the match concluded. Ostapenko was booed as internet erupted with racism charges. What actually happened? Indian government's ban on money-based online gaming has had a huge impact on India's sporting ecosystem. On a lighter note, though, Dream 11, because of this, became part of a rather infamous list. Asia Cup buzz doesn't die down. In a tri-series press conference, Pakistan captain Salman Ali Agha came under the spotlight for smirking when a journalist said Afghanistan was the second best team in Asia. This even as Pakistan's fans continue to mock their own team. And football, Manchester United struck yet another low point, crashing out of the League Cup after losing to fourth-tier club Grimsby. Amorim says sorry. What's the real problem? All of that coming your way. The Williams sisters are at it again, redefining boundaries and the sport itself. One of them stunned the world by making a comeback into professional tennis at the age of 45. The other is trying to weather a storm that she created after making a bold admission and going on to promote it too. We're focusing on Serena Williams today, who's been in the news over the weekend when she announced that she took a weight loss drug that helped her lose 31 pounds. That's about 14 kilograms. Now, firstly, kudos to come out and say it. Many celebrities have used various weight loss drugs. Most don't talk about it. Now, while the side effects and long-term impact of these weight loss drugs are not entirely known or well-researched, it's safe to say that there is still some stigma attached to this, and particularly with celebrities using it. But I do not want to go down that path. If Serena Williams felt she wanted to lose that weight and was not being able to in the usual way, great that she resorted to this and has come out in the open to admit it. That itself generated a lot of hate online, with many hitting out at Serena, an athlete, for taking a drug to lose weight. The interesting thing to also note here is that Serena Williams' husband has invested in this very same drug. But coming back to all the reactions, I will have to tell the trolls here to cool it off a bit. Because this so far is a story of empowerment. Her body, her choice, and she can do what she feels is right to look the way she wants to. But as soon as Serena Williams started promoting the drug, became the poster girl for it, that's when she crossed over to uncertain territories. Because then she's not only saying she has done it and is okay with it, she's also urging others to follow suit. And when it becomes a campaign or a promotion, then you are in effect telling the masses it is safe and basically just go for it. But that's not all, because unfortunately with Serena, it's never just that. Here's an athlete who has endured a lot throughout her career, a career that has been glorious despite any of it. She, her sister, her father stood up to a lot of hate and negativity all through their lives. From combating adversaries as a black athlete to owning the fact that a woman can be just, if not more powerful than a male athlete. Serena Williams tore down stereotypes. Serena all her life was body shamed. She was bullied and harassed for not physically being a certain way. She endured a lot of that and so stood for women all over the world for all shapes. Her resistance said that it was okay to not fit the box that labeled you to be a certain way, to have a certain size. That it was okay to not be thin, be strong in whatever shape you were. She was, and she won Grand Slams with it. that it was okay to dress a certain way and not necessarily be feminine in conventional terms. She won a Grand Slam carrying Olympia, a legend who has been the face of fighting stereotypes all her life. So after having done all of it, been the crusader, to now desperately feeling the need to be thin and advocate that too, feels a little strange. For us particularly, who went on this journey of defiance with her. Now, while it's okay to personally go through these changes and want something else for yourself down the road, her advocating it wholeheartedly is just giving off mixed signals, though she puts it down to health reasons.
It was a really good decision I had to make for my life. No matter what I did, I could never go back to where I needed to be for my health. Then I was like, okay, I have to try something different.
Now, you cannot fault anyone for promoting any brand unless it is harmful and goes against all that you have stood for your entire life. Serena Williams unfortunately carries the weight and responsibility of being the voice for women world over. All kinds of women, athletes, non-athletes, the entire gamut. Women who as it is have a world of burden resting on their shoulders, to now suddenly be told it is better to be thin and do it anyway to get there. Preferably easier, despite not fully knowing the effects or the toll it may take on a non-athlete's body, is a philosophical U-turn that could be a tough one to fully comprehend, digest and endorse. Tennis has always carried a reputation: elegance, grace, class and pure skills. Legends like Roger Federer, Steffi Graf have long been the torchbearers of that image. But the 2025 US Open, it feels like a sport rebranded overnight. There's aggression, ugly meltdowns, verbal spats and tempers running wild. First, of course, came Daniil Medvedev's explosive first round meltdown, and now the US Open is at the center of a racism storm. The latest controversy erupting in what could have been an otherwise inconsequential matchup between Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko. Unseeded America's Townsend defeated her 25th seeded opponent in straight sets. But what should have been a routine proceeding post the match turned into one of the ugliest flashpoints of the Grand Slam, making us ask, did Ostapenko cross the line here? Now, usually after a face-off, the two players meet at the net, shake hands, one congratulates, the other commiserates, and that's over. Ostapenko didn't do any of that. She humiliated Townsend right at the nets. The American gave it back too. Fans booed Ostapenko, and now she's staring at accusations of racism. Townsend pulled off a massive upset, 7-5, 6-1, a solid win there. But when the players met to shake hands, Ostapenko dropped a verbal bomb.
She told me I have no education, no class, and to see what happens if we play each other outside of the US. I said I'm excited, bring it on.
No education, no class. That was Ostapenko's parting shot. Townsend didn't mince her words in response. She told Ostapenko to take the loss. The home crowd roared with her. Ostapenko walked out to a chorus of boos. But the controversy didn't die just there. It only escalated. Ostapenko's comments triggered a storm on social media. Accusations of racism started piling in. The backlash was so intense, the Latvian was forced to issue a clarification, not an apology, a clarification. She claimed tension started after a net court point went Townsend's way. And since Townsend didn't apologize for that net cord, she felt disrespected. Now let's get one thing clear here. Apologizing for a net cord is a gesture. It's not a rule. It's tradition, a courtesy you choose to grant your opponent for a lucky shot. But skipping it, that doesn't make a player classless or uneducated.
Whether it had racial undertones or not, that's something she can speak on. But also that has been a stigma in our community of being not educated and all of the things, when it's the furthest thing from the truth.
That's where it hits home, because words carry baggage, and when you're a Grand Slam winner, you can't hide behind excuses. If Ostapenko felt disrespected, she had every right to be upset. But insulting an opponent and taking pot shots like that, that's not passion, that's privilege. The result, she didn't just offend Townsend, she disrespected her rival, fans, and the sport itself. Ostapenko hasn't apologized yet because, according to her, she's done nothing wrong. She's said nothing objectionable. But here's the hypocrisy. She's offended by a missed courtesy at the net, yet feels entitled to call another player classless and uneducated. Jelena Ostapenko may deny racism. She may insist she didn't mean it at all. But damage is done and it's irrevocable. And when you insult your opponent's dignity, you don't just lose the match, you lose much more. India's cricket team isn't just a sporting powerhouse, it's the biggest brand in the country. A partnership with BCCI is often called the Midas touch, because everything Indian cricket touches turns to gold. Well, almost everything. Dream 11 has just joined the infamous list of brands that crashed after becoming India's jersey sponsor. Is there a curse lurking here? Here's our next report.
Indian cricket is a goldmine. The richest cricket board, the most profitable brand, and the ultimate jackpot, getting your logo on Team India's jersey. Instant limelight, 24/7 promotion, and global reach. Like casting Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, and Scarlett Johansson in the same movie. But here's the plot twist. It rarely ends well. Dream 11 signed a $40 million deal in 2023 as India's jersey sponsor. But last week, their India operations took a hit after the government banned money-based online gaming. They ended the deal with BCCI and the so-called jersey curse struck again. In fact, the curse has become a running joke. Want to test your brand's survival skills? Forget the stock market. Just try sponsoring Team India. Dream 11 isn't alone. This story stretches back almost 2 decades. Every single jersey sponsor has faced chaos. Take Byju's. Once hailed as India's EdTech savior, they took over the jersey in 2019. Fast forward to 2023, and you have an $18 million default, legal battles with BCCI, and a business in free fall. Before Byju's, there was Micromax, the homegrown mobile giant. But with Chinese competitors taking over, Micromax's innings ended, both in cricket and in the handset market. In 2017 came a new wave. Oppo, the phone maker, went big, $162 million, the costliest deal ever. But poor returns and dwindling market share forced them to retreat from India's cricket jersey for just 2 years. And soon, from the Indian market itself. Go back even further, Sahara in 2013, Star in 2017. Every big name eventually struggled under the so-called jersey jinx. So what's the takeaway? Yes, a deal with Team India is glamorous. Yes, it guarantees eyeballs. But stardom doesn't guarantee survival. Every brand learned it the hard way. The jersey curse may sound like meme lingo, but history says otherwise. From Micromax to Byju's to Dream 11, the list of fallen brands have only grown. Yet, here's the irony: despite the horror stories, companies will still line up. Because one truth remains unchanged: in India, nothing shines brighter than the blue jersey. And that's why, curse or not, every brand still dreams of being on it.
Pakistan, Afghanistan and the UAE cricket teams are busy warming up before the Asia Cup comes around. The three countries are playing a tri-series, and yesterday was the first joint captain's press conference. But want to know what was the biggest talking point from that presser? Pakistan captain Salman Ali Agha's reaction to a journalist's question directed to Afghanistan team skipper Rashid Khan. That smirk is what's headlining this tournament, and if things don't go too well for Pakistan here on, Ali Agha's smirk is all that he will be constantly reminded of. Let's dive right in. What was the question then that got the Pakistan captain reacting?
Assalamu alaikum. Mashallah, your team has done very well in the T20 World Cup. You became Asia's second best team. So what are the targets for this tri-series and then the Asia Cup?
Well, there is no specific target, we need to put on ourselves, and that's an extra pressure as well. For us is the right brand of cricket we have played over the last few years. I think that's something for us is the target, that we bring that energy into the game, we bring that performances and that efforts into the field. For us that's the main target.
A journalist at the presser addresses Rashid Khan, congratulating him on being the second best team in Asia, and then asks him what his target is here on for this tournament and of course the Asia Cup coming up. Rashid's response establishes two things here. One, that they are a good side and quite honestly, at the moment, the second best team in Asia. And he's humble enough to say the target is always to play good cricket and not bother about which team that they're beating. And of course, the interesting point to note is Ali Agha's reactions right through it all. Till the cameras zoom in to Rashid Khan, he raises his eyebrows as if that was a doubtful and a very dubious question, and almost smirks when he hears that question getting completed, almost saying this was a joke. That there was no way Afghanistan could be the second best team in Asia. It's of course Pakistan. Want to know what's wrong with that assumption? First, Afghanistan has been the more successful team on paper. As professional athletes, and their country as a cricketing nation have gone only from strength to strength, at least where the men's teams are concerned. In the last 2 years, Afghanistan's win percentage in T20 internationals is 54% compared to Pakistan, who have a win percentage of just 40%. And in one-day internationals too, Afghanistan have a better win percentage of 50 as compared to Pakistan's 45. Let's come to ICC events. The last three major ones over the last 3 years. In the ODI World Cup in 2023, Afghanistan and Pakistan finished in with same points. At the T20 World Cup in 2024, Pakistan crashed out in the first stage itself. Afghanistan reached the final. At the ICC Champions Trophy, Pakistan did not win a single game. Afghanistan managed to win one. So clearly on paper, Afghanistan has performed better than Pakistan over the last few years for sure. Second, Pakistan's misplaced sense of pride and their flawed attitude when this question was asked, almost indicating that this was all a farce. Now the farce, or the real farce, is what the PCB has been conducting, thinking they are working towards improving cricket in Pakistan. Getting in top coaches who gave you a vision and results only to get them to resign and run away. That's been a farce. Their campaigns at ICC events going winless and disappointing their fans over and over again, letting their country down. That's a farce. And of course, the biggest irony here is the fight for second spot. This is the same cricketing nation that would fight for the first with India, that produced quality cricketers who respected their opponents and earned their place on the international stage, for whom passion for the sport and the will to perform came first. This is the same country whose own cricket fans have mocked and taunted them for making tall claims about beating India come Asia Cup. So unless Pakistan wows everyone and destroys their opponents here in this tri-series, that smirk could well come to haunt Captain Ali Agha and his team. Manchester United have hit rock bottom. This time it's not Premier League rivals humiliating them, but a club from England's fourth tier. The Red Devils have been dumped out of the League Cup, losing to Grimsby Town on penalties. And this latest setback proves it's not just the players, not just the manager, but a broken culture at Old Trafford, one that needs a complete revival. Manager Ruben Amorim began his first full season high on hopes, backed by a $200 million spending spree. But 3 games into the campaign, the results are damning. Defeat to Arsenal, a draw with Fulham, and now the embarrassment against Grimsby Town. To put this in perspective, Old Trafford seats around 75,000 fans. The town of Cleethorpes, home to Grimsby, accounts for less than half of that. Their population is 30,000. So for Grimsby supporters, this was the night of their lives. Those celebrations say it all. That's a night no one who was gathered there backing that team would forget for many years to come. But for United fans, it was another night of shame. And heartbreakingly, it's the fans who've carried the club through 12 years of failure, clinging to hope, again only to be let down. Little wonder Amorim had to apologise to the Manchester United fans.
I just want to say sorry to our fans. I have nothing to say anymore about the performance. You cannot change everything in one summer. You need to win games. You need to not show this kind of performance.
So who's to blame? Changing managers hasn't worked. United have burned through many coaches in 12 years. 10 different faces have been inked with the top job. Some caretakers, some permanent, a few interim ones coming in, but all have been blamed for United's poor showing over the years. And here's the thing, the names were some of the big guns in football world. David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ralph Rangnick, Eric Ten Hag. And some legends of the club too, Ryan Giggs, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and now Ruben Amorim. So it isn't just managers. When top names fail, the players are far worse.
We're seeing things we were seeing last season. I hoped all the mistakes, players walking and being easy to play against at times would have gone, but that was a bit of a worry.
So yes, the players are part of the problem, but the truth runs deeper. The club has lost the fear factor. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, the dressing room had one lion and everyone respected him. Whether it was Beckham, Keane, Tevez, no matter the name, if you crossed the line, you were out. Today, players dictate terms. Marcus Rashford, Anthony, on loan with United, still footing half their massive wages. Alejandro Garnacho reportedly refuses to leave unless Chelsea comes calling. That entitlement, that lack of accountability, that's where United have failed the most. Sure, they'll keep topping the list of biggest spenders, but will they ever top the Premier League again? Right now, Manchester United are no longer feared, no longer respected, and unless the culture changes, unless players are held accountable, United will continue to sink. The theatre of dreams is fast turning into the theatre of nightmares, and the painful truth, the glory days may be farther away than ever before.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.